Hello everyone, myself Viraj Nandev Utekar. I'm a certified software testing professional. In this section, we are going to understand what is information disclosure vulnerabilities, what are its impact, and also we are going to exploit it on one of a demo web application. So, what is information disclosure vulnerability? Information disclosure vulnerabilities are also known as a cryptographic failure. This type of vulnerabilities takes place at top 2 on OWASP Top 10 Vulnerability List 2021. Why OWASP has given a high priority risk for this type of vulnerability? The main reason is when the site fails to protect and expose sensitive or critical information to suspect user, then it is known as an information disclosure vulnerability. This vulnerability can be more dangerous if sensitive information such as secret key, database details, credentials, if gets into the hand of a suspect user, he can take a complete access over the victim's account. This information can include other technical details about the system such as software version, user data, configuration files, and more. Such leakages can provide attackers with critical insights that help them for further attack or exploit the system. Now, here there was one freelancing web application in which I have identified the information disclosure vulnerability. This vulnerability is now not been visible even if I try to replicate that same step. Their developer might have fixed this issue, but still I'll try to attempt one more time. No, the issue has been fixed. But what exact was the issue is they were returning the server was returning with an error page, but that error page consists of sensitive information such as a CRF token or no, it's basically certain application could not able to handle its sensitive information, and it returned me with a parameters such as with a sensitive information. So yeah, this type of an vulnerable this was actually vulnerable to information disclosure vulnerability. Similar way, we are going to check one of an application. This is a dummy application. This application is purposely meant for the pen testing itself. So this application consists of many pages. The product catalog is one page, blog is one page, our story can be other page. There can be similarly, but there can be many pages. So we will basically scan this web application and we will check for the files. Now this application can contains a multiple file. This what we are seeing on the front end. This is also one of a file. It is a combination of an HTML CSS. Now this file is been written on the network. So we will scan this network and basically check the similar. We will check for the files that can contain the sensitive information. Now this HTML, CSS, or this image cannot contain the sensitive information. These are basically publicly available to us. This is purposely meant for us only. But there can be other files too that can contain the sensitive information where the developer might have configure the config can have or the developer might have mentioned the sensitive information into its configuration file. This that file can be any file that can be transferred over the network, but that file would not be visible to us. So we will try to access that file with a tool, that is a scanning tool, that is a Ferox buster. Now this Ferox buster basically will scan the web application and it will retrieve all the endpoints that are binded with this particular application. So by this we'll get to we will get the suspect, like any endpoint that can contain the sensitive information. We will try to access that file. So just let's jump into the environment. uh, So here I have used a virtual machine uh, with the help of a Vagrant tool. We will basically try to install. I have already installed the Ferox Buster tool, but the Ferox Buster tool, you can go through this documentation, and you can each there is a clear mention of a step how to install it and how to use it. So we will use the Ferox Buster tool in this session, and we will scan all this particular URL and get its all the endpoint. So first of all, let me change my privileges to root user, and let me redirect to the directory where the Ferox Buster tool is installed. So in this, I have installed my Ferox Buster tool in the snap Buster current bin directory. So we will try to run this tool. Now this to run this tool, it takes a certain parameters. First parameter is URL. The URL of the application we want to scan. So we will copy this URL of an application, and we will just paste it in this parameter URL, and then there is one more parameter, that is a word list file. Now this word list is nothing but a collections of words that will be appended to the end of an endpoint, and it will basically scan. Just it will scan the application, and it will return with an it will return with the endpoints that have been active on the network of this particular application. So I have already downloaded this particular word list file in Snap, and that file name is common.txt. Now we will run this Buster tool. Now the tool has started to run, and it has started to scan this particular application. Now you can see it is returning with a various endpoint, and it also contains of various attributes such as status code, method name, etc. Our majorly focus will be on the status code which are returning with the 200 because these are this 200 status code are, means that the endpoint is active on this application. So our major focus will be there, and also there are the various endpoints that are we don't require for now, such as SVG, PNG, or HTML or CSS. Our majorly focus will be for the unique or you can say unique file name, like Git can be one file, or JS is not unique, but yeah, JS developer can put some sensitive information in JS file too. So yeah, we will focus on JS. So what we will do, we will scan each of this endpoint manually with the JS extension, and we will try to paste it into a browser and check whether it contains any sensitive information. So I will show you one endpoint. For now, we will just stop the scan, and we will go directly on to the endpoint that is vulnerable. I have already practiced this before recording this video. So to shorten this video length, we will just directly go to the vulnerable endpoint, but we have to uh, manually do the steps that we are going to do now. So we will just go to the endpoint that is vulnerable, this one. I'll just copy this and open my browser, and I'll just paste it into browser. So you can see it is a JS file. Now what we will do, we will just open the quick search filter, and we will try to filter out with the possible sensitive keywords such as credentials, no, creds, no. It is not returning any with any value. admin. This also is not working. Now we will go with the database. So here there is one element. It is a comment. It is in a comment section, but it is returning me with a GitHub repo URL. But it is of third party, so I don't think this is useful to us because it has a Gecko source code. It is of third party, so we'll try another one. We will go with a secret. Yes, it is returning with four parameters. So yeah, my password is in this source code. I did it. So yes, these are the React internal libraries that is mean that does not supposed to be exposed to other user, but it has been exposed by the developer into this JS file. So yes, the information has been disclosed, and it is vulnerable to information disclosure vulnerability. So similar way you can perform, and I try to identify this type of an vulnerability with the tool or without a tool. Now without a tool is not possible. There can be many files appended to this particular URL. So it would be good if you use a tool such as Ferox Buster we have seen into this session, that can help to scan all the possible and with all the possible endpoints. So yeah, this much from this session. Thank you.